Today, I have the extraordinary honor of sitting down with a man whose work has transformed the way thousands of people think, feel, and attract wealth. Not just on paper, but in their soul. Our guest, Joel Salomon, is globally recognized finance and mindful money expert, a master prosperity coach, a former hedge fund manager, and a man who once oversaw a $700 million portfolio for Citi. He is the author of three best-selling books, including Infinite Love and Money, Mindful Money Management, and the powerhouse favorite, The Nine Money Rules Millionaires Use. Joel has been featured in the Wall Street Journal, U.S. News and World Report, Forbes, Bloomberg Radio, and more, not because he teaches traditional finance, but because he has that rare ability to bridge spirituality and prosperity, helping entrepreneurs step into abundance through mindset, alignment, and inner belief. What I love most about Joel is this. He is not here to teach you how to chase money. He's here to teach you how to become the person money is attracted to. His mission is to help over 100,000 people become financially free, and he is well on his way. Joel, it is an absolute privilege to have you here today. Welcome to the Global Cash Summit.
Thank you so much for having me, Cassandra. It's a big pleasure and honor to be here today. Thank you so much.
Yes. Joel, your journey is one of the most fascinating I've seen, from managing hundreds of millions of dollars to becoming a prosperity coach for spiritual entrepreneurs. Can you take us back to the moment that shifted everything for you? What made you walk away from traditional finance and step into this deeper work?
Thank you for the question. Yes, so I was living my dream. If you had asked me in 1993, what's your dream job? I would have said money manager, hedge fund manager, and I was doing that. It was December 2015, and I went to a personal development course, and two things happened there that completely changed my life. First was we had a guest speaker speaking about stocks and stock options. And when he spoke about options in particular, he made it sound easy. He said, you don't need much time, you don't need much money. This is how the rich people get rich, and options are essentially risk free. And I was sick to my stomach with 200 people in the room. And so it was day two of the conference. They knew me, so they were tapping me on the shoulder, whispering, Joel, does this make sense? Are options really riskless? So after he was done, we went out of the auditorium. I told him, please don't do this. He has no idea about any of you individually, and most importantly, no idea about your belief that you could become rich using options. The second thing that happened at that course was we were given a wooden board 2 inches thick, and we were told we're going to break it with our bare hands. Have you done that, Cassandra?
No, I've seen it online though.
So there's a lot of fear in the room. The exercise is called Obstacles Are Illusions. And on one side of the board, you had to write your biggest obstacle. And then on the other side, your ultimate goal, which stumped me for a while. And then it hit me. Make everyone in this room financially free. Make everyone in this room financially free. And then I broke the board like the other 200 people in the room that day. Went home that night, I couldn't sleep. First, the guy was in my head, and I realized if I could ever get up the courage to speak on a stage, my biggest fear in life that day was public speaking, I could be authentic, not lie to people, and be of service. And then the second thing going on in my head was that wooden board staring back at me from across my bedroom. Make everyone in this room financially free. I think it hit me like 4:30 in the morning. I jumped out of bed. I quickly got dressed. I was at my office in Midtown Manhattan before the sun rose. And I sent an email to my investors telling them I'm giving them their money back. I'm shutting down my fund. I figured out my true purpose on earth.
That's amazing. That's such an incredible story. I love when that happens, when God just speaks to you in a way that you just cannot ignore it. You really have to take courage. You have to listen to that voice, that internal voice that's telling you this is time. It's time for you to do this. This is your purpose. You've got to step forward, and to have that bravery to be able to say yes, and that obedience to be able to say yes to that small voice inside of you. Oh, amazing. Now, you teach something that totally reframes how people think about money. You call them money miracles. So, for our audience, what exactly is a money miracle, and why do you believe that they're available to everyone?
Well, money miracle is a surprise amount of money that comes in. And it's not like you're working on a client month after month, week after week, and then they sign up. It's 3 years ago, you talked to somebody. You had a good conversation. They said they weren't interested. Out of the blue, they show up and say, okay, I want to work with you. How much? So that is a money manifestation, a money miracle. In my Money Miracles membership, we've had members manifest over $2,495,000.
Each?
Oh, it's almost $100,000 per person.
Amazing.
So, and let me give you some more examples from the membership and from my individual coaching clients. The largest has been 322,000 US dollars
Beautiful.
in the Money Miracles membership. And the largest as an individual client of mine has been almost $3 million. And so let's talk about the membership first. We had a guy who joined a couple of years ago. He just got laid off from his job. He was trying to decide, do I go back to work in corporate and do I start my own company? And so that's why he signed up for the membership. He started watching the videos. We have a series of 6, 7 months of videos you have to watch. We have a weekly call, and you get a assigned accountability partner. There's a reward system. So he lived in Texas, and he was getting on the weekly calls. And he happened to come to New York because he was moving his brother-in-law out of the house with his wife. And he said, Joel, I'm going to be in New York. I'm like, where? Literally an hour from me. So we met for a coffee. So we got an extra session during the first month. And because I'm in just outside of Manhattan. And just a couple of weeks later, he gets an email and a call from a lawyer who was asking, are you the Frank who worked at XYZ company 23 years ago? He said, yes. He said, well, we just got acquired and your options have vested, and we need to confirm your address so we can send you $322,000.
That's a lovely surprise. I love that.
That's a money miracle.
That is a money miracle. I love that. I love that. That's great. Now, I know that you work with entrepreneurs all over the world. What are the most common money blocks that you see, especially among spiritual or heart-centered entrepreneurs? Because we have so many of them around here. And already the stories that you're telling, they sound familiar to a lot of us, making that decision. Do we stay working in corporate or do we go on our own? Everybody's kind of had that moment probably if they've become an entrepreneur. So, what is the most common money blocks you see, especially among our entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so there's so many limiting beliefs that the spiritual entrepreneurs have. One is good people aren't supposed to care about money. Or if I'm spiritual, I should be okay with just getting by. Or I have to work really, really hard to be rich and successful.
Mhm.
Right? These are very common, and they're limiting. And
Yep.
I tell my clients and potential clients, when you have some thoughts, you have some beliefs, question them. Are these limiting me? Or are these empowering me? Is this a truth? Because I say there's only a couple of truths. And one is that if you walk off the Empire State Building, you're going down,
Yeah.
right? Another is that what you put out you can't get back. So if you're grateful and appreciative all day, every day, you're going to get more and more things in your life to be appreciative and grateful for, the law of attraction, right? So, and that's based on energy and feeling and emotion. So how are you thinking? What are you believing? And what action steps are you taking? Because actions are a tell on your beliefs.
Right.
So if you don't believe your program is worth $10,000 or $25,000 or $5,000, you're not going to be getting out there and asking people for your services.
Right.
So, what actions are you not taking? What actions are you taking? Maybe you're doing busy work because you don't believe that your services are worth what you're charging for them.
That is so,
Or
that's so
you
true.
have the opposite impact where I have a lot of clients who've come to me over the years who are charging too little.
Mhm.
And that's a tell, right? I literally had a woman just 2 years ago come to me and is charging $3,000 for 3 months of coaching, 12 sessions. So what is that? Like $150 a session.
Mhm.
Now she's changing lives. What she's doing is priceless.
Mhm.
And so I tell my clients that money is just energy. And so if you're inappropriately charging for your services, then that's an inequitable exchange of energy.
Mhm.
And I give an example like 3,000 years ago, you're the cow farmer and you want a chicken. So you go to the chicken farm and the chicken farmer gives you a chicken. And instead of an equitable exchange of energy, you're giving him 12 cows. That's what's going on with a lot of my spiritual entrepreneur clients or potential clients.
Yeah. Now, you say that the real foundation of wealth is not strategy, it's really abundance, self-worth, gratitude, love, and service. So, how can someone begin shifting into abundance today, even if their current financial reality really feels tight to them?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I know this is going to sound weird, but pretend. Stop looking at the physical reality and spend more time pretending, because when you're looking if you're looking at the physical reality and it's lowering your vibration frequency and energy to worry and fear and sadness, well, that's what you're attracting, right? And you need to be up here in love, joy, appreciation, and gratitude, because that's the same frequency as abundance and prosperity. So you can't get here, you can't get there from here, right? So what can you do to spend more time pretending? I teach visualization, right? Spend 5 minutes a day just visualizing the dream life that you want, the dream car, the dream house, the dream job, the dream career, the dream spouse, whatever it is. And really, and what's most important about visualization is from Wayne Dyer's book, Wishes Fulfilled. Make your future dream a present reality by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Make
Absolutely.
your future reality make your future dream a present reality by assuming the feeling of which fulfilled. So if you could feel what you want to happen right now, you're attracting it quicker. So pretend, visualize. How can you act as if your business is already generating $20,000 a month or 30,000 or 40,000? What would you be doing? Who would you be hiring? Who would you be delegating stuff to? So check it out. Like, okay, maybe you don't have a virtual assistant now. Well, go on to Upwork or go on to Fiverr and check out the people who are there as if you're about to hire somebody,
Mhm.
right? Or, if your business is generating that much more money, maybe you're going to give to a special charity or you're going to create one. So research that, right? Or you got to do a splurge. So go on to your favorite online supermarket shopping and put into the shopping cart some things you're going to purchase as if you're making a lot more money. Don't purchase anything yet, but act as if. And you can do that. Okay, I'm going to go on a great vacation. I'm going to go to the island of Maldives. So check out what's the best time of year to go.
Mhm.
Check out what resort you want to go to. And do you want to stay at the hut, over the water with the slide that goes into the water, at the personalized pool and jacuzzi? Check out how much that's going to be, what the excursions are. all of that. Maybe how much frequent flying miles you need to get there.
Mhm.
So if you're spending more time acting as if pretending, then you're raising your vibration and you're going to attract more abundance into your life. So how I say, if you want abundance, be abundant. I had a client a couple of years ago who literally was with millions of dollars, but she was worried she was running out of money.
Mm.
And so, of course, we worked on mindset. We created individualized affirmations, but she lived just outside of Manhattan. So we had a meeting at the Waldorf Astoria and we had a coffee there. And we walked around and observed the people who are spending $5,000 a night for one of the rooms there, right? We enjoyed the chandeliers and all the abundance and the pictures, the paintings there that are worth millions of dollars,
Mm.
right? Just being in that environment, be abundant. What can you do to be abundant without actually spending a lot of money?
Right.
Go into, test drive the blue convertible Maserati, Gran Turismo, right? Check out houses that are worth $5 million dollars or more. Brokers would love to show you some houses. Take pictures, put them on a vision board, stare at those, right? All of that is acting as if being abundant, and watch, things will shift.
Mhm. Now, you've written The Nine Money Rules Millionaires Use, which is such an important book. Which rule do people really resist the most and why? And then what happens when they finally embrace that rule?
So the ninth rule, I think, is the most controversial. So the first six rules are spiritual rules, and the last three are more process analytical oriented rules. So rule number 8 is DIY, do it yourself. And rule number 9 is don't diversify. So that's the most controversial rule. No financial planner or financial advisor is going to say don't diversify. But I will, as a former hedge fund manager, because I know that when I invested in 100 different stocks or 80 different stocks, every year the top 3 to 5 made me 120% of my return, and the rest of them lost me money on average,
Oh.
right? So I have a few quotes in the book, one from Charlie Munger, who was Warren Buffett's right hand man until he passed away 18 months ago. And he said, the key to successful investing is non diversification. If you know nothing, diversify.
Hmm.
Warren Buffett himself said, if I had my druthers, I would put more than 50% of my net worth in one business. And think about the richest people in the world. Not to get political, Elon Musk owns 4 businesses. Jeff Bezos from Amazon owns one, and he has like, I don't know, 90% of his net worth in Amazon. Go back some years to Steve Jobs at Apple or Bill Gates at Microsoft. They didn't put their money into various different vehicles. They put all of their net worth into their company. And watch. So John Kenneth Galbraith from 100 years ago, economist, said, put all your eggs in one basket and watch them closely.
Yeah, great advice. So, what are one or two daily practices anyone listening here today can adopt to start reprogramming their money mindset?
We talked about a few of them. One, I would highly recommend visualizing. Just spend 5 minutes, closing your eyes and thinking about what you want to happen. Write down 2 or 3 or 4 dreams before, and don't link them. Don't drive in your blue convertible Maserati Gran Turismo up to your dream house with your dream spouse. Pick one and focus on one. Um, so visualization is one. Doing daily affirmations. The two most powerful words in the English language are I am. So I am abundant. I am worthy of massive wealth. I am. Now, I recommend saying things that you believe
Right.
in affirmation. So what's your belief level from 1 to 10 that I am a money magnet? Now, if you're not, then you can soften it. I am on my way to becoming a money magnet.
Mm.
But if you believe you're a money magnet, then say, I am a money magnet, right? And so affirmations are really powerful. When you say, you know, I am weak, I am poor, all these things not only are making you mentally weaker, but also physically weaker.
Mhm.
So words, doing affirmations it's really, really important. I have a whole stack of index cards I do every day because I read a book and oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. And I read a book a week. So I've been doing this for many years. I've been a prosperity coach for 7 years. So affirmations, visualization, meditation is really powerful too.
Mhm.
You don't need to clear your mind completely, but if you have a guided meditation, just because we have 75,000 thoughts a day,
Yeah.
and for most people, 40 to 50,000 are negative,
Mhm.
right? So if you can limit those negative thoughts by just doing a guided meditation and listening and focusing on those words, then you're limiting the negative.
Yeah.
And so you want to get the odds in your favor to create a positive life. So doing visualization, doing meditation, doing affirmations, highly recommend.
So, as we prepare for your 30-minute main stage session at the summit in January, what is the number one money miracle principle you really hope that participants walk away with?
It's a great question. I mean, all of them are so powerful. I think just having a strong foundation with belief, right? And really focusing on what you believe. Because if you don't believe that you're worthy of massive wealth, it's not happening.
Right.
So we need to shift beliefs. So that is number one to create the miracles. If you don't believe it's possible to manifest $322,000, I will tell you it's not.
Mhm.
Right. And so what you have to start, and that's actually a technique I teach my clients and prospective clients, is starting with a number you believe. Because if you start with 322,000 and your belief level from 1 to 10, 10 is absolute faith, 1 is massive doubt, you're a 1. I'm sorry, it's not happening.
Right.
It's just not happening. No matter how many times you say it daily, whatever, if your belief is a 1, it's not happening. So start with an amount of money where you absolutely have, it's an 8, 9, or 10, and preferably 10, right? So that's so important. Belief is everything. And so really, I would check yourself throughout the day. What's my intention? What's my belief going into this meeting? Right? What's my intention? What's my belief getting on this call? Because if you don't believe that miracles are possible, it's not happening.
Absolutely. Now, you're gifting our VIP community your 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use course, which is incredibly generous and powerful. What can they expect from that experience, and how do you recommend that they use it?
Yeah, so go through each of the rules and and put them into practice. You don't need to do all 9 at once, but take some baby steps. Watch the first rule, which is when you believe, and take some baby steps on that. And so I wouldn't watch all 9 at once. You could binge on them, but I wouldn't. Right. So watch one and put it into practice,
Mhm.
and watch two and put it into practice, and maybe take even a few days to absorb each one and see how things are shifting.
Mhm.
I think that's the best way to implement. And we can go a lot deeper, which we do in the membership. We go a lot deeper in one-on-one coaching, but that would be a great baby step.
Now, for the person listening who feels stuck or overwhelmed or scared when it comes to money, what's the very first step you want them to take today to open the door to prosperity? Is it for them to believe it's possible for money to come to them in these miracle ways?
I would say write down what your beliefs are right now when it comes to money. You know, Money's hard, the economy's tough. I was on a call last week and this woman said to me, well, that people are not paying a lot of money these days for things. Okay, well, is that a limiting belief or empowering belief? And if you're a spiritual entrepreneur and you have that running in the back of your head all day, every day, then it's going to be really tough to get new clients in, right? So write down what's you're thinking and then see if you can flip it. That would be the first step, right? So instead of saying, well, it's a difficult environment out there and very few people are going to pay for my services. What about there's thousands and thousands of people out there who have plenty of money who would gladly pay me what I'm charging and more,
Mhm.
right? So flipping the thought, the belief is really critical, and then seeing what your belief is that that's possible, and then you have if you're flipping it, and then your belief is a one still, then see if you can soften it.
Yeah, and then go into that meditation, that thinking upon it. So, Joel, your wisdom is such a great gift. Your journey, your mindset, your generosity, it all speaks to the deeper truth that money is not earned by effort alone. It's really attracted through identity, through alignment, through your beliefs. And so, to everyone watching, make sure that you connect with Joel, explore his work, read his books, and dive into the VIP course that he's gifting our community. So he is one of the most powerful guides in the world when it comes to creating true financial freedom from the inside out. Joel, thank you so much for being here and for being a featured voice at the 2026 Global Cash Summit.
Thank you so much again, Cassandra. Appreciate you.